everybody, good morning. This is Lynn with Littlefoot Nursery. It is early morning my time. I'm trying to sneak in a video or two before the kids get up. And I'm here with silicone baby Olivia. She is the Emerie Mei sculpt by Andrea Arcello. She is a portrait baby of my daughter Audrey when she was just a baby. Kind of modeled after some photos of her when she was about a month old. Audrey was a big baby, so she's really a 3-month size baby, 0 to 3 months. She's about like 19 to 20 inches and wears 0 to 3 clothes. She's just so cute. And today I wanted to change her into, you guys will recognize this from my recent haul. This is the bubble romper from Tea Collection. And it's got this bare back, so I need to put it on one of my full body silicones, and it's perfect for her. So I'm really excited to try this outfit on her. And my topic for today, I had seen a thread on the Bountiful Baby Forum, and it was a question posted by Shawn P. And Shawn, for those of you guys who don't know, he has a channel called UniRebornDad, and it's really cool because there's not a lot of male collectors in our community, and he's also, you know, kind of younger. I believe he's a college student, so it's really neat to kind of see just more diversity in our community. And I think he's a very smart young man. So yeah, shout out to you, Shawn, if you're watching this. So yeah, I wanted to, he had brought up a topic that I'd not thought too much about, but it was around, you know, portrait babies. And, you know, are there any, I guess, like, kind of ethical considerations with doing portrait babies? And I was like, huh, that's like really, really interesting. So those of you guys who've been following me for a while will know that I actually have several portrait babies. I have 2 different sculpts based on my daughter. I have the Emerie Mei and the Melina full body silicone sculpts. And then based on my son, Ethan, I have the Ethan full body silicone, in which case, and actually I need to make a video with him. It's been a while. So, so you guys will, you know, kind of know that that's something that I've done quite a bit of. And I also have baby Lynn, and I had baby Elia, who's the Enlai sculpt. And this was a baby based off of, you know, portrait of myself as a baby. So yeah, so I think that most people would agree, like, if it's a portrait baby of yourself, like, that's totally fine. That's like completely up to you. It's your image that's being used as inspiration. But I think part of his question was like, if it's a portrait baby, oh my gosh, this is so cute on her. Sorry, really quick. Let me show you her back. Aww. Now she so Emerie Mei is not poured in one piece. She is a bit of an older silicone baby, I think made back in like 2014. So she's about 5 years old, or at least the sculpt was. I don't know if this particular doll is probably newer than that, because 2014 was when the first ones came out. But her neck is fused, so. Oh my goodness, hi sweetheart. Oh, she's so cute. Oh, I love having portrait babies of my kids. It's kind of like having a 3-dimensional photo. Like, that's like one of the really fun parts about it. So anyway, so back to what I was saying, you know, he was wondering if, you know, there were ethical considerations for, you know, doing a portrait baby after a child who, you know, hasn't really provided consent. And this could be, you know, if it's like your own children, or, you know, let's say an artist finds, I mean, we all look to, you know, the internet for inspiration photos. There are so many cute baby photos online. You know, it could also apply to just finding a random cute baby photo for inspiration and doing a portrait baby. You know, it's a great question, and it's something I've thought about a little bit because, you know, you know, for those of you guys who don't know, I mean, I have 2 sisters, and they each have kids, and, you know, both, one sister has 3 girls, the other has a couple boys, and particularly, you know, one of my nieces, when she was a baby, she's just strikingly beautiful. Like when we would be out in public, and she's just a gorgeous kid. Like, you know, random strangers would like, we'd be eating in a restaurant, and if I'd be eating with my sister, people would like come up to us and go and comment on how like beautiful she was and how adorable. And she, you know, my sister, it would always make my sister feel like super self-conscious, and she just doesn't want like her kids to, you know, be like emphasized for their looks or anything like that. But they are really, really cute. So, you know, so I always kind of had thought like, oh, it would be really, really neat, you know, to do a portrait of her as a baby. She's just so cute. But like, but because like I know how my sister, you know, kind of feels about that. Like I've never thought about, you know, commissioning an artist to make a portrait of, you know, my niece. I somehow feel uncomfortable with that, even though, you know, I actually don't think technically there's really anything wrong with it. You know, but I think just kind of similar to how, you know, if you take a picture of someone else's child, it doesn't feel right for you to post that on social media or post it out in public. And I kind of feel like doing a, you know, kind of a portrait doll is a little bit like that. But I feel like if it's my own child, I think there's like no issue with that. And I feel like that's kind of up to the parent. So, yeah, that's why, you know, I think it's up to the parent if they want to post pictures of their own kids on social media and things like that. But somehow I feel like if it's someone else's child, you know, I don't know, I would just be a little bit more cautious about that. I do think it's different if it's like, hey, you know, somehow though, I feel like it's different if it's like a random baby photo you find out on the internet, because that's been kind of just put out there for the public. Whereas like my niece, for example, like, you know, her pictures or her image, you know, I mean, my sister posts on her own personal Facebook, but it's not like, yeah, it's like really out there in the public, if that makes sense. So I feel like, yeah, so I don't know. It's hard. I mean, I think artists can also, you know, they should be able to take inspiration from wherever they want to take it. But, you know, I also think that sometimes the portrait baby doesn't turn out like exactly like the baby that was inspired by. So it can't always be traced back to who it was inspired by. But the point I think Shawn was trying to make was, is it weird when that baby or child grows up and then they realize, oh wow, they were like the inspiration behind these portrait babies, and then there's like dozens and dozens of them out there. In the case of reborn sculpts especially, I feel like with silicones, you know, I also thought about that. I was like, is that weird that there's like 25 Emerie Meis out there, and, you know, random people have a portrait of, you know, my daughter. You know, I guess like, you know, I don't, you know, it doesn't bother me because it's not actually my daughter. You know what I mean? It's a piece of art that's inspired by a baby photo of my daughter. So that's how I kind of think of that. And, you know, and also if you guys follow the Ashton Drake company, and, you know, they have a sort of every year they do a portrait sculpt or doll based on baby photos that people submit. And you know, every year they pick a winner, and then they sculpt a doll based on that winner, and I think they send the winner that doll and whatnot. And it's really cute. And you know, none of those children, you know, obviously give permission, because, you know, they're too young to really like understand what it is, what it's all about. But the parents submit pictures. And again, it was like one of those things where, you know, I was like, oh my gosh, my niece would be like such a great candidate for this. But you know what? I don't feel comfortable submitting her picture, because I don't think her mom would want a doll, you know, made after her image. Like, I don't think she'd want that. So, so I felt like I would be violating a right of my sister, if that makes sense. So I do think it should be up to the parent. Like in the case of all the real-born sculpts, because I think that was in the context that the question was asked, I think that those babies are all, like, their parents have all given permission, and then several of the moms of those babies had commented on the thread that they thought it was like really, really, really cool to have, you know, an image of, you know, their child as a baby. So, yes, I thought that was like really, really awesome. And, you know, and I feel the same way. I'm like, you know, and I think Audrey feels the same way too. She thinks it's so cool to have a baby doll that looks like her. And you guys may have seen that video. I had a video a while back where she was holding Olivia, and she was saying, oh, she looks like me and all that. So anyway, but yeah, it's just the nice thing about you know, having, you know, these dolls. It's huggable art. And for me, this is like a 3-dimensional photo, just capturing like this one special moment in time when Audrey was a baby. So I really, really like that. So anyway, as far as you, in case you can't tell, I'm a huge fan of portrait babies. If I had more kids, I would do portraits of them as well. I just think it's fun, and it's really meaningful and special to have a doll that's, you know, really crafted after, you know, someone that you love. And I remembered as a child, you know, even when I was like a teenager, my youngest sister, who's 6 years younger than myself, she was just so adorable as a baby, like so freaking cute. And I remembered like thinking, oh, it'd be so fun if I had a baby doll that looked like her. Like I really thought about that. There was a company, and I saw it in like a catalog, I don't even remember what the name of the company was, that claimed that they could, you know, make a portrait doll based on a photograph. And it was expensive, and I was like, you know, a kid, so I didn't have any money. And so I never like got to do it or anything like that. But I remembered seeing that and thinking, oh my gosh, that would be so cool if I could get a doll made that looks like my little sister. So anyway, that was like long time ago, back before portrait babies were really popular. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this topic and conversation. I would love to hear what you guys think as well. Please leave me a comment below. And if you're new, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And I always try to chat about some interesting things related to the reborn silicone doll hobby. So anyway, have a great day. And Olivia's going to say bye to everybody.